And so remember, Tom Surson, Jim Riley, Joe Zilla, Harry Race, Bernard the Chance, DJ Day, Perlita Quinwan, Elton Anderson, Don Wiley, Jim Hall, Bill DeFall, 1961 Oyster Cracker Man, Bid and Bedford, Blue Boy Boxes, Ellery's, Robo Knight, Red Randy, Red Gordon, Karen Foster, Country and Western, Brian Stan, Steve. Just remember, it'll build everything that you people used in your mockery. So the McDonald's rape, for example, and, Burger King, have it your way. Bernard, you're a supermassive rapist liar. You're so fag it just doesn't penetrate 3 times in a row. Okay? Of what your lie's doing. So, like I said, Bernard, if you like to screw McDonald's clowns, they'll make you McDonald's clowns to hump. That's why, it's doing what you want, Bernard, in your lie. How you guys are clicking and manipulating it. They'll use your racism against you. How you guys mock my father in the electric boxes, Perlita. We have too many electricians. Karen, you wanted water. From Florida all the way over. Everything that the group of you in your claims to the Jewish throne or whatever you want to claim, Robo Knight, Russia, your cowardice, they'll use. The movies, everything in your pathetic story, Carney Bernard. Team El Cortez of the Red, everything, the Holocaust, everything, Bernard, in you guys' lie and your pathetic claim to the throne. Whispering faggot a fair amount to Joe. All that shit torture 3 times in a row. Like I said, and your, claims over other people's children, Indian Joe. See, you can't claim to be dumb anymore, Joe, when it's obvious the group of you know how to read and see what you're doing. Understand, Joe? Jamaica Street, Pickin' Street? They'll let you. But remember, Bernard, it is your rape DNA and your rapeless bank, and you're proud of that in the ghetto life. Your Negroes you employ, the actors you employ, the companies that you take advantage of, the casinos, everything that you do with Elton and Don and you guys' lie out here, Bernard. David, so was that meant to kill the Hiltons, Bowmans, or a Kennedy, or me? You're so repetitively dumb, David, it proves that you're a thief with Ellery and those guys and constantly lie. Your arrogance and your naiveness, your, whatever. Understand? If you think you're that badass to be able to commit rape and murder and do whatever you want to win a war, David, Perlita, Robo Knight, Ellery's, Harry J. Race, Joe, Jim Riley. That's what it builds in the image of God. But you lose all the cool stuff we used to have. Understand? All the way back to the bully fights. Those 3 schools, the other schools out here, the universities, all of it. So you adults could build your paradise, your Eden and your Zion and Atlantis. I don't want your family day gift, Joe. Minister Joe and Roland. I know that's what you're trying to do. Come back to us. We love you. After we beat the shit out of you and mutilated you and your friends. Now we love you. Now that you the shepherd solved it all, supposedly the rainbow. I don't want it, Joe. Because you know you're going the wrong way. And I told a lot of adults, why don't you heal your children first? You're sick first. But the Bernard de la Carney had to take it all. So Bernard, whether it's BB Circus or Circus Circus, I don't give a fuck. Because the group of you are using my family, Ron's family, Paul Bueller's family, Mel Bogue's family, a plethora of them. I don't have to go through the names. Your ideals, Bernard, of the Confederacy or Nazism with David and your supposed push to save the people of the internet, when you should have just let people alone, Bernard, proves it all. Because you do the same shit act every time with Perlita and your selfish 4. So Oyster Cracker Man and your blue boy boxes and your blue cans and all this shit you do, Implement Man marking his supposed alpha dog spot. I don't give a shit if you're successful or not. Understand? They mark it all for you. Oyster Cracker Man, the Antilla Man, Joe, Harry, Indian Joe, all there for you to be when you rule over the city again, Joe. So you're reminded of what you've done and your team. And that is the cost of war. Understand, Joe? Since you guys like to mark it up and claim to be death when it was never yours in the first place. You will be known as liars of not only the Earth, the solar system, and the cosmos forever, Joe. And that's just the way it is, because you sent Perlita to screw up my stuff, Kim's stuff, Bailey's stuff, Sasha's stuff. That's all you've done, Bridges. And I'm sick and tired of your dumb fucking ass. You're not evolving the world. You're making it worse, Bernard, because you live a delusional fantasy not only of the circus and the carny, but of the comic book that you guys got. Trying to copy off of and be better than Angelina Jolie, Mickey Mouse. It doesn't matter if it's the Messiah of the Bible or not. There's a lesson that you have seen, that there's stuff that's a higher power that you guys know of, and you attack it. And number one was the children, Bernard. That is where you get your jealousy and your stuff from, and then you attack if it's not your special selected messiahs. So Harry, they gave it to your crybaby ass, but they gave it to Dave and John and Adam. But that's the genetics you got to live with, in that racist line that you live with. You want that ingrained in your technology and ships to fly in the future, dude? Just remember, Harry and Joe and your team, when you do that and you put that in that ship later on in the future, Robo Knight, Rapist Robo Knight, Red Randy, Red Gordon of the supposed Oracle and your stolen device, be sure that that ship don't turn against you, because it eventually will.